Welcome in, football fans. It is the closing line, wrapping it up for the day here at SBR Forum and SBRPicks.com. I'm your host of Big Men on Campus, Jeff Nady, joined by my co-host, Donnie Wright. So, Donnie, week 5, it's been interesting. We got a game just ending. Green Bay takes the lead. What a drive by Aaron Rodgers. Just, surgical. What do you say? And you beat the Cowboys in Big D. Dallas goes to 3-3, I believe.
Yes.
And we're always good in the Philadelphia area, Donnie. Beautiful to see. How you doing? Welcome in.
Yeah, no, good day. I didn't win any money today. That's another story, but good day if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, as we are sitting in first place by a country mile right now. Dallas Cowboys going to take that loss, and the Eagles continue to look good. They'll have a tough one on Thursday Night Football, which, they actually opened up, I believe the first line came out here as +3 at Bet Online. So, Carolina favored by 3 at Bet Online. So that'll be an interesting one. But yeah, an interesting day of football overall. I wish the breaks would have went my way a little bit, Jeff. I know you just hit a nice play. Easy winner there on the Packers and the Cowboys over 52 and a half. What you probably got
interesting at the end there.
Yeah.
It got interesting.
Yeah.
I thought the 2-point conversion and what are you doing with the 2-point conversion there? What was up with that? Here comes a lateral.
Yeah, watch this.
Uh-oh.
That's got to be a forward. That's got to be forward. That's got to be game over. It's got to be game over, right?
Oh, my God. This is not good. Tackle him, for Christ's sakes. Oh, my God. Tackle him.
Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing, Packers? Thank you. Jesus Christ. Is that got to be any more brain dead? The defender who just picked the ball up?
Fucking
what is he, brain dead?
Yeah, he throws to the linebacker. I'm like, what are you doing? Then he starts running. Jesus.
Well, what I mean is, like, the linebacker picks it up instead of just goes down. He walks away with the football and they knock it loose and get it back. What is a moron? Jesus Christ.
Those are always the worst, dude. They always are like, your heart's on the fucking floor, man.
Whenever you need that play to go in your favor, it never goes in your favor, but usually you get an awful beat that way.
Oh, sure. Always. But we're back here, Donnie, wrapping up week 5, getting you prepared for Sunday Night Football. You got the Texans and the Chiefs. Looks like the Chiefs are every game, aren't they? Primetime wise, Donnie.
Yeah, no, they I guess the NFL lucked out by putting them in primetime a lot early because they're a good football team, man.
Yeah, Dallas gets absolutely. By the way, when we'll get to it, Dallas gets absolutely shredded today. Shredded. In 1 minute or less, Aaron Rodgers brings it back. But Donnie, let's get in to what went on today. Week 5 here in the NFL. We'll start at the top and. Not only do the Giants lose, they go to 0-5, but they lose literally every receiver they have. They lose Dwayne Harris, Sterling Shepard, Brandon Marshall, and the big one, Odell Beckham. Donnie, who are they going to throw to? Evan Engram?
No,
That's about.
Yeah, I've never seen this before. I was actually on the Giants -3. They opened up 9-0 in that football game, and all of a sudden, like a systematic shutdown of the wide receiving core, which ended, when the Giants still had a 2-point lead late in the game. Odell Beckham finally went down. Tough loss in that regard. The Giants had several chances when they were up in that football game, just couldn't put the game away. But you can't ask a team to put the game away if you don't have it. Like, you're running Evan Engram out there at wide receiver with backup tight ends, like running Odell Beckham's plays. You're not going to win football games like that.
And now you're in real trouble because you have a guy who already is prone to turnovers. You have an offensive line that can't stop anyone. You have no run game whatsoever, and you have. These are your receivers now for the Giants. Now, if everyone's out, Roger Lewis, Chad Wheeler. Actually, I'm sorry, not Chad Wheeler. Chad Wheeler's a left tackle. I'm sorry. Roger Lewis is your only receiver on the depth chart currently. Other than that, you got Evan Engram and you got running backs. Roger Lewis is your only healthy receiver right now. It can't get any worse and they're on 5. So after all that. Now you haven't even won a game yet. And, Donnie, I'll continue to bring this up. Since that picture on the boat, they're 0-6.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing how football works, Donnie. And, again, it could just be, random. But where do the Giants go from here? I don't
know. Jeff, we're asking each other, like, where do you, like, it's not like you say, oh, man, Odell's out, but you still have other, like, you lost an entire unit today. Can you imagine, like, if the Giants for anybody, the Arizona Cardinals came out and they were down all 5 offensive linemen during the game? I don't even understand, like, how it's even possible.
And this is your record coming up. You have at Denver.
Good night.
Seattle at home.
Good night.
The Rams.
Good night.
At San Francisco, which is probably a win, I guess.
I don't know. How do you like Jeff? Their whole offense was centered around Odell Beckham, and he's done. They're done.
I mean, what happens at this point if? And I'm just saying because I don't know if every player will be out, but I mean, what happens if all these players are out 4 to 6 weeks and then Beckham's out for the year? I mean, what exactly do you do? Bring people in off the street?
Yeah, you have to. Like you literally IR Odell Beckham. You don't know how long Brandon Marshall's at, but at this point, if you're the Giants, you're 0-5. You're not going anywhere. So what's the point, actually of saying, all right, well, Brandon Marshall, we'll wait 4 weeks or 3 weeks to get you back if, let's just say, you have a high ankle sprain. You'll just IR him and go sign somebody off the street because it doesn't matter anymore. Like, are you going to wait? Are you going to wait a month to get? Let's just say Brandon Marshall has a high ankle sprain. Are you waiting a month to get him back? No, you're just going to sign, some rookie or bring a rookie up off the practice squad or make like a lower level trade or whatever just to get a warm body in there. But you're not waiting. It's not like, oh man, Giants are 5-0. Hey, look, just put them on the shelf until December and we'll get them back when we're on a playoff run. They're done. It's over. See ya.
Yeah, it's again, I don't mind it a bit. Fuck the Giants. Yeah. I hope they lose every game.
Actually, Jeff, now I go the opposite way. Like, I want them to win because maybe they can knock somebody off. But more importantly, like, I don't want to see the Giants get a good draft pick now. I hope they win some games.
I hope they win like 3 or 4 games and get that would be absolutely perfect. Cincinnati Bengals get the win, Donnie. Yeah, they did. 20-16. I really like the under in this game. I thought 39.5 with the weather in Cincinnati today. With the Bills' inability to move the ball, Bengals are starting to play some good football, Donnie, and they get a win. So maybe Gabe Morency, we can get him off our back about the Bills for a week, maybe, Donnie.
Yeah, no, it was an interesting game about the way you would play it out. Me and Gabe looked at that game, whether or not you're going to say, taking Cincinnati or Buffalo. It was a close game either way, tight the entire way through. But the one thing we did agree upon, Jeff, was, when there's a little bit of weather in there, forget about the weather. Both these teams aren't going to light it up because they tend to be a little bit more back into the fold. You saw once, Andy Dalton got a new offensive coordinator. They're trying to rein him in, even though he did have some interceptions, some tip balls, not, particularly good luck in that game. But it tended under anyway. Even if with the rain, that was just a bonus there.
Yeah, nice to get that one. And guys, again, we will break down the Sunday Night Football game. That's what the show's for. And make sure you tune in because Donnie and I usually we handed out 2 winners last week with the Seattle Seahawks and the over. So I actually have a play I like tonight in this game, Donnie. So we're going to get to that a little bit later. It should be fun. Another 1 o'clock game. Jets get the job done and cover, Donnie. 1.5 point favorites against the Browns. How about that? And Donnie, I'm feeling pretty good. I have Willie Team go winless this year. I had will the Jets go winless? That lost, but I still have a will a team go winless here. And the Browns are my hope right now. I guess the Giants as well now. But this was a winnable game for the Browns. Weren't able to do it under the total was the right play as well. That one comes easily in. But Jets starting to get a little consistency here, Donnie. How about this? Who would have thought the Jets would be the best team in the NFL in the New York area?
Yeah, it's funny that because, again, I preface this game by saying, you know what? It doesn't matter who you take in this game. But if you're going to put your money on Cleveland, you heard that, Jeff, I do the same rant every week with Cleveland. So the second half start, to me and Gabe were on live. And I saw Kaiser not going to start the second half. And I go, dude, Hogan's a better quarterback anyway. He's been there, I don't want to say a veteran because he hasn't been in the league that long. So I live bet Cleveland plus 2.5 in the second half. Or for the game. They go down, score a touchdown right away. They go back and forth. Now, here's where I get upset again, because when we all joke about, some things are just a little bit out of like reach for you where you can't control. It's a 3-point ball game in that game, Jeff. Everybody's struggling to score out there. You're at home. You get down to inside the 5-yard line. And, Jeff, it's not a 4.5 yard. It's a legitimate 4th and 2. Hugh Jackson rolls the dice and goes for it. I don't know what football planet that he's on, but you saw how it played out. If they don't go for it, they kick the field goal. That game is a tie game after Duke Johnson scores late in the game. It's not 17-14. It's 17-17. Maybe it goes your way. But, like, I don't know what you're trying to show. Like, you're trying to instill that you want to win a football game. And in order to do that, you have to hang around and keep your team in the game. The minute they got stuffed on that, was anybody surprised that they lost?
No, and we've talked about it. Hugh Jackson's a moron. That organization is a bunch of morons, and it wouldn't surprise me this year. I mean, this was one of your winnable games.
Yeah.
It's going to take a miracle. And now, I believe Kaiser got benched, if I'm correct. Now what?
Now, what's the point of that anyway? Is that like the second time they've done that? Like, what's the point of pulling him out? Don't you just let him get his lumps? I mean, he was throwing interceptions in the first half on the headed into the end zone and not making good decisions. But isn't Hugh Jackson supposed to be the quarterback whisperer out there? What is he doing with this team?
Yeah, and I don't really know what you're doing there, benching the kid. I mean, what do you have to look? What's there to look forward to? I mean, I don't get it. I mean, so what, you're going to give Kevin Hogan the nod from here on out?
Yeah, let's just say if they won that game, Jeff, 20-17, he doesn't go for it on the goal line. Is he going to come out and be like, yeah, Hogan gives us the best chance to win the rest of the year? No, that's not the point. That's not even the point of your season.
It's just why they continue to be an embarrassment, really. Jacksonville, the big win of the day. Who would have thought we saw this coming? I had the Steelers. I was really liked them at home here. I thought this was a great spot. You really kind of had some inner locker room issues. I was thinking Antonio Brown have a big game, and he did, but Ben was just brutal. And this isn't like Ben. I mean, he's usually very good at home. They're usually they're extremely effective at home. Be good as a favorite and be good against the spread overall. What is up with the Steelers, Donnie?
Jeff, I saw a comment from Big Ben after the game that said, you know what? Maybe I just lost it. Maybe it's that point where, he was such a bruising type player, not because, he's going to run the ball like a Michael Vick, but how much abuse he took in the pocket, standing in there, taking the shots, it adds up. He's not a spring chicken back there. He's a bigger, older guy. It's not like, hey, I'm going to stay skinny and be 215 and, be real limber. Like you see, it's kind of funny when you look at him because he's real top heavy, like an egg, he looks like with those skinny legs. But maybe he's lost it. Maybe we overestimated the Steelers. Man to man, that's a really good football team. They got smoked today by a team with an MO of let's just play good defense and run the football. That's a really bad loss for the Steelers. When we talked about it during the week, Jeff, it was one of those where you looked and you said 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, whatever it was. Either the Steelers were going to win this game by 2 touchdowns or they were getting beat straight up. I didn't see this game being a 4-point game. And the Jaguars just absolutely took it to them in that second half. Kudos to the Jags, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, and the Jags continue to be a odd team. Try to handicap. And I'll tell this: if you've been betting on the Steelers, we know the public love teasers, moneyline parlays. You've been getting your ass handed to you with the Steelers because they're always in there. They look like that great 7-point favorite. They can't lose. They're the Steelers. They're not going to lose to the Jags. And they've done that the last couple of weeks. Not good. Steelers might be a team you want to fade here a little bit or just keep out of your bets entirely. Next one here as we march down the card. Nice win from Miami. This was one that I definitely grabbed. Castle was poor, but Cutler wasn't great either, but they did enough. And shout out to Miami. I mean, this is a spot where a team like Miami would lose usually. Nothing for the other team to get excited about, a poor defense. Miami lays an egg, but they were able to escape here, get a win under their belt, and feel good at home. I really like this one, and we were on the right side here. Titans back to the drawing board. Need Mariota back, clearly.
Yeah, their offense, talked about it earlier today, and you know me, Jeff. I took it as soon as that line popped up. We were actually on the right side of campus when that line came up at 3. Took it right away because I was just betting that Marcus. I didn't want to see the smoke signals out there saying, "Oh, he's going to give it a go." You don't ever give it a go with your franchise guy who's uses his legs a lot in mobility when he has a bad hamstring. The one thing I missed on a little bit in that football game is earlier in the week there was supposed to be a little bit of drizzle and rain is what it was showing. Looked like a really nice day there down in Miami. 10-0 lead right away for the Dolphins. That was almost like the MO of my day. I had a 9-0 lead in the Giants game. Actually lost that football game. Had a 10-0 lead in the Miami game, getting 3. That game was tied up heading into the third quarter. And had a 10-0 lead in the Rams game, which we'll talk about. But back to the Miami game, Jeff. They knew that Matt Castle couldn't move the football. So kudos to Adam Gase that said, you know what, Cutler, you're not going to throw the ball 45 times. We're not going to say let's go downfield, because the one time that Cutler tried to improvise, he got intercepted and almost let the Titans back into the football game. Very good defensive game plan by the Dolphins. Matt Castle couldn't move the football. There was no read option, so you didn't fear DeMarco Murray or Henry in the backfield or the quarterback running away. You could zero in and play good football with that front seven, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, nice win for Miami.
Yeah.
And they get the job done. Under comes in, another under in this one. Niners, I grabbed them today to pick them. And I just thought they were the better defense. They have, Shanahan. I picked every game. So it is what it is. But this is a wild game. They had the opportunity to win after the dreadful interception by Brissett down in the red zone in overtime. They were given an opportunity, gifted an opportunity, Donnie, and weren't able to finish. But that's what poor football teams do. Niners go down here today. Over comes in. This was a shit show, Donnie. And these shit shows tend to go over, which Gabe Morency's talked about. Yeah. These shitty games tend to have overs come in. Short and sweet here. Win for Indy here.
Yeah, I mean, San Francisco's trying to learn how to win. It all just broke down to me leaning towards that football game, leaning towards the Colts, just because they were home. Jeff, if we would have flipped that game to San Francisco, I would have picked San Francisco as a victor in that one. And you saw as the way it goes. Indianapolis actually controlled that football game. It should have been an easy winner. Never should have went to overtime at this point. And shout out to the boy, Jeff. Marlon Mack out there running wild now, looking like he's back at USF. Nice addition to that football team. Hopefully he stays healthy and maybe can help him in the future there.
Shout out to South Florida in the building. 91 yards on the ground. He's got to get out of the way. I had Frank Gore in my fantasy team.
Yeah, actually, I had one of my DraftKings lineup had Frank Gore in there. I was hoping. And again, you saw the play where Mack went down to like the inch yard line. They still didn't put Gore in the game. Like, damn, man, let the old man eat.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, all right, give me a little touch. I'll tell you what, though, he's not a bad guy. I mean, I get 10 points with him every week, seemingly.
Yes, no, you can count on him. It doesn't seem like 60 yards and a rushing touchdown every week. It seems like.
Yeah, which I'll take. I mean, Woodhead went out injured. I'll take him with Le'Veon Bell. It's fine. Yeah. Donnie, the dominating performance of the day goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. How about this? 34-7, and it stays under. How about that, Donnie? I had the under in this game. 21 first quarter points for the Eagles, and the game stays under.
How about if you had the under, Jeff? You saw how the game ended. How about if you were waiting on the over and the under there? Amazing. Yeah,
bad beat if you had the over here. A touchdown late. Was called a touchback after I think it was J.J. Nelson fumbled at the 1.5 inch line, I think. Tough beat. But, hey, we'll take it. Donnie, an absolutely fantastic day all around. Defense was absolutely fantastic. This defense is starting to look really impressive, and it just goes back to show I wish they had one more corner.
If it's coming, man.
Solid,
it's
really
coming.
Good. I mean, but we could have it. That's the annoying thing. But Darby will be back at some point. That will only allow and give us, depth there. This was an absolutely surgical performance today from the Eagles. Wentz was absolutely flawless. On third down, I think he was 11 for 12. And defensively, they were amazing. I'm really excited about this team right now.
It's one thing that you can look up and say, like, Carson Wentz is only in his second year. You wait your whole, 15, 20 years as fans of certain teams that I don't even want to say luck into it, because Eagles traded up and got him at the number 2 pick. It wasn't like a 6th-round pick, but you wait on guys this special. And if I say it again and you see me tweet it every single Sunday, thank you for having a baseball front office in Cleveland where you raped the Philadelphia Eagles and got a ton of draft picks and you passed Carson Wentz. Because, Jeff, where would we be? I didn't know much about Carson Wentz. I heard the Eagles were going to trade up. I'm like, my God, why are we trading up to get Carson Wentz here? It's going to cost a lot. I actually was one of the dumber guys saying, you know what, why don't we just stay pick? We need another quarterback. Let's get Vernon Hargreaves at 8 and keep our picks and try to do something. Thank God Howie Roseman for once got this one absolutely right. And again, Christmas cards for life to the Cleveland Browns organization, who would rather have draft picks than Carson Wentz right now. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, this was just a dominating performance on both sides of the ball. They ran the football well. Torrey Smith got involved in the pass game finally.
Good play calling. I mean,
right. Play calling was good. Defensively, they were fantastic. They got to Carson Palmer. They did what they had to do. And you know what was impressive as well, Donnie? I mean, it wasn't it wasn't an unbelievable day rushing, but they had 122 rush yards against a really good rush defense. That was something that I wanted to see. They torched this secondary for the Cardinals. You talk about dominant performances of the day. This was the dominant performance of the day in the NFL. And the Eagles are sitting there at 4-1, heading into a Thursday night game, which is going to be interesting with Carolina. Carolina on the road, though, got to travel back home. Short week for both teams. One bad piece of news, Lane Johnson with a concussion. Again, Vita played pretty well. Clearly you want Lane in there, but Vita has some experience. Hopefully he can do well. This was a great performance, and right now with this team, we're really feeling good about it. So under comes in, sorry over bettors, and the Eagles cover easily. Carolina, Detroit. Detroit made a comeback here, Donnie. Detroit was in the had the chance to get the ball back late in that game, but a nice read by Cam Newton, Kelvin Benjamin, first down, game over. Carolina wanted to blow it, but they get the job done as an underdog here. A little plus 115 price here. Game goes way over the total. What are your thoughts here going forward with the Lions? Just couldn't too big a deficit in this one.
Yeah, too big a deficit. Exactly. I mean, we talk all the time. Detroit at home. They're probably going to have the football late in the game. It's just they should have had it. It was 3rd and 8. Great play by Cam Newton. Great catch. Great pass to Kelvin Benjamin to seal that game up. But you almost had that same effect again where they had no business. What was it? 27-10 in this football game. Missed field goal, and all of a sudden you see, a touchdown with 6 minutes to go. And before you can blink again, 3 minutes to go, they're in again. They need one stop. They couldn't get it. But the NFL is just wild, man. And a lot of these football games where you have a team that's up double digits, 14 points, 17 points, and you hang on for dear life to either win the game or get the cover in the football game from the opposite side. This was just one of those games. Carolina played a good football game in this. They were moving the ball on offense. Cam Newton was really on point. We'll see if that continues. I like Carolina in the Thursday night spot. Again, they're a home team, playing the Philadelphia Eagles coming into town. And also with the Eagles winning today and the Cowboys losing, when you look in the NFL, Jeff, a little bit of psychology there. I mean, yes, they certainly want to win the football game. They're going to give it their effort. It's only a 3-point line. Can the Eagles win the football game? Surely they can win it. But, there's a little bit bigger picture saying if you go down to Carolina and lose, well, you're going to get that mini bye week, and then you're going to come back and play the Redskins at home, which is a division game, which you must win. So maybe one of those lines that you just set up down the line where if the Eagles lose, it's not that big a deal. But today, again, Jeff, getting back to that, good football teams win those games. And again, Carolina won that football game on the road. Tough to beat Detroit in Detroit.
Yeah, Cam Newton, one of the best games for him in a long time. 355 yards, 3 touchdowns. And how about Donnie? Ed Dixon, 5 receptions, 175 yards. A big day for the former Baltimore Raven.
Makes me laugh too, Jeff. A couple weeks ago, I had a DraftKings lineup, and right when Olsen went down, like, Ed Dixon's going to be sneaky here. He's really cheap. Didn't do a goddamn thing, so I never look at him again. And then I chuckle when I see the day that he had today. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, but you look at Carolina. I mean, with such a surgical performance offensively, and they still only win by 3. I'm telling you, Carson Wentz is going to pick that defense apart. Mark my words.
It'll be a good one. I'm just, Lane, the Eagles' record with and without Lane Johnson is just something out of this world. How one player can make that big of a difference.
Maybe we'll play.
Carolina's got that good front 7. It'll be a tough one down there, but yeah, I mean, Carson Wentz's game, and they're getting points. So
he's a lineman. He'll play. He'll be all right.
Concussion? Back in the day, they would have, sure.
I mean, I feel like concussions in the NFL are like fast anymore.
No, he would probably play, but they play a Thursday night game. Get a concussion Sunday. Yeah. I mean, that's hard to do.
Maybe the rumors are wrong and he'll be in there. We'll see. Nonetheless, late games here. Seattle get the job done here against the Rams. This is a tough one. Rams go up 10-0. You know what, Donnie? I hate to say it, but I feel like as soon as you said that about that, what I said about the Rams, I feel like it all turned bad for you.
I don't know if it turned bad. Yeah, I watched most of that game, and the Rams dominated the football game. They just made the dumbest mistakes you can make. They 3-and-out to start the game, Seattle. They drive right down the field like Swiss cheese. And Gurley, I mean, it's a hustle play, but you're going to have 1st and goal from the 1-inch line if you just put your head down and maybe you score anyway. The ball gets tipped, hits the pylon. Then they, go back and forth. They go all the way down again, punch it in for 7. Then the punt return comes back. Austin bounces right off him, but the defense makes up a play. Here's maybe the play of the game, Jeff, overall. They have the interception in the flat. The defensive back's running down the field. Seattle hustles back to tackle that guy at the 9-yard line, which forces a field goal to only make it 10-0 instead of just a pick six to make it 14-0. But the Rams were in the red zone repeatedly, making just stupid mistake after stupid mistake. It hurts when a football team dominates and you have money on it and you don't actually win the game. Came right down to the end. Cooper Kupp drops a touchdown pass with 10 seconds to go in the game. You would have gave you a push in that one. Hey, I just hope the breaks go my way next time. I'm comfortable with the play. It didn't work out. It didn't win. I lost money on it. But, sometimes you can, in the NFL, you just ask for a chance to win the game. And they were up 10-0 at home. You got to win that football game.
Yeah, it's irritating for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely a game that the Rams should have won. But, hey, you live and learn. And hopefully they can win bigger games later in the season against Seattle when it matters probably a whole lot more. Not that this doesn't matter, but again.
Greg Zuerlein making every field goal, blowing 30-yarders. They had it wasn't a first and goal. It was like a 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. The very next play, they run play action, and Goff trips over the running back for like a 10-yard sack. And you knew it was going down. Then the other play, the backup off of that, was a 3rd and long when it was still tied, I believe, a screen pass that got tipped where the guy made the interception. So nothing went right for the Rams, and yet they were right there at the end to win that game. Just couldn't do it. But, hey, it's the way the NFL goes, man. Tough one.
Baltimore Ravens pound the Raiders today as 3-point dogs. Game goes over in the third quarter. I did grab the over in this game, so I feel good about this one. But I got to tell you, man, this Raiders team, it's not looking good for this group right now. I mean, their defense is terrible. Their quarterback's injured. Who knows how long he'll be out. Backs are touchy things, and the public got crushed in this game. Game open pick. Bet all the way up to 3. No one believes much in the Ravens, especially on the road. But one thing about the Ravens, they have a fickle defense, good defense. The turnover early hurt. They get out 14-0 like that. Raiders right now are in a little bit of trouble, Donnie. Easy winner here if you had the Ravens in the over.
Yeah, didn't it set up too easily this year, Jeff, I guess, for Oakland, where, Marshawn comes to town. It's a coronation. Let's win one this year, maybe next year before we have to go down to Las Vegas. This is a big party. The season starts with a big win against Tennessee. How good's Tennessee actually at this point? Now we're looking at, then you dominate the Jets at home. It's all fun and good. We're going to go play the Redskins. We're going to take this traveling party. You get doused in that game. You get your quarterback injured in Denver. Then you get blown out at home. Where do you go from here if you're the Raiders? Because, again, you were asking them to win the division, compete, and make the playoffs. You're looking up at Denver right now, Jeff, and you're looking up at Kansas City, and you're under 500 in the AFC right now. It doesn't look good. And I want to see how it goes throughout the year because Carr is going to rush back and try to get back in there. But is he even going to make that difference?
Yeah, I mean, he hadn't so far. And play calling's been bad. Yeah, they have a lot of issues. Big man, how much do you think the guy from Barstool is in the hole from gambling? Galaxy concern. Well, I mean, he's a multi-millionaire, and he owns arguably the most profitable sports blog site in the world. So I don't think he's going to have any trouble. From what I heard, though, I mean, I'm a big Barstool guy, Donnie, as you know, and from what I heard, he stopped gambling. He's just a mush at those Barstool tailgates, and it is what it is. But I don't think he's in the hole or anything. He's a very rich man. I don't think we'll have trouble with and I hate to say it, I think if he was in the hole, I'm sure he could get out of it fairly easily. Hey, you never know. Look at Carton. But Dave Portnoy, Donnie's a rich man, as we all pretty much know. One more here. We talked about it. Green Bay and Dallas, great game.
Great.
This is kind of become a rivalry, if you will, a little bit. It's kind of what football's all about. Late 4:00 game. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Dallas, Green Bay. Their games are always close. And the over came in, which I'm happy about. That was my previous play today.
Nice call. Yeah, Sean Lee goes out of the game. You would figure that game would have went over. How funny is it, too? Because the game is completely on pace the whole time. You get a pick six with 10 minutes to go. They go for 2, and it's like, they don't get it, but it's no big deal. A lot of teams are going to get a lot of possessions. They go on like an 8 or 9 minute drive where they actually get stuffed on 4th down. If they don't find that angle from the overhead, then, that game's over right there. You probably would figure, Jeff, Green Bay gets 1 first down, which they probably would have. And they would have just sat on the football, but the game ends up going wild. Looks like Dallas is going to win. Looks like Green Bay is going to win. Great finish, and I'm happy. Hey, Dallas lost, man. Good for us, right?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Green Bay was in control. I mean, and they won the game. So, Cowboys fans, we don't need any excuses. You lost at home, and it's funny we don't ever see Jerry Jones when they're losing. You ever notice that?
Yeah, how
Always
come
when
it
they're
doesn't come
winning.
down on the field? How come it doesn't come down on the field anymore, Jeff, like he used to? Is it too long now that you're in that, quadruple stadium that you just can't get down there
Well,
fast?
he is like 85 at this point, so it's probably
Yeah,
kind of hard
that
for
is
him to
true.
get down there.
That's true.
He probably has one of those. Did you see that escalator that Saudi guy had, the gold escalator? Did you see that?
No, they got
Yeah,
whatever they
there's
print
like
money
a
there.
Saudi oil guy. I don't know if he's like a prince or something, but he's like 80 years old, and
Yeah,
he has on his plane. He has an escalator. It's gold,
yeah.
and it comes out of the plane. But that thing broke the other day,
Jesus.
and he had to walk down himself. It was.
Oh, he's probably
I'm sure
furious.
Jerry
Did he have the
Jones.
rose? Where they did they? He at least get to walk on rose petals.
No, they just said, "Hey, start walking."
Hump it down there.
Donnie, let's get to tonight's game here. We got about 15 minutes or so, and we'll take some questions. And we kind of went through the card pretty quick. How about that, Donnie? Fast and
Yeah, no, hey, that's what you get when you have some bye games where you're short 2 or 3 games. You can make it through rather quickly on that.
by the way, I know this is a football show. We'll keep in mind Boston gets a win here today, 10-3, an easy winner for the Red Sox. They get back in the series a little bit here, 2-1 at home. Indians, Yankees are scoreless, but I'm sure the Yankees will go up 7-0 or something, and the luck box Indians will come back and win like always.
Is that
That's
game
kind of
tonight,
what.
by the way? Is that the Yankees play tonight? I haven't even checked into
Yep, it's
baseball at
going
all
on
today.
right now, 0-0 in the top of the second.
Whatever. All right.
Let's get into tonight's game, Donnie. KFC, KC, -1.5 at Houston. Over under is 45. Total open 47. It's down to 45. Total or side open pick. It's been bet up to 1.5. It was 2 at one point, but it's hanging around 1.5. Donnie, right side. For me in this game, I'm not a big fan of the side per se. I do think this is a game where I could see, kind of, on the short week here for Kansas City, them going into this game and they're going to slip up at some point. Houston's a tough place to play. They have a pretty good situation at this point. Quarterback's playing well. Defense is usually pretty good, but Casey's really good, and I'm not looking to bet against him. So for me, I'm just kind of avoid the side here. Casey's been a really good ATS team, and Andy Reid's team looks pretty unstoppable defensively. If you're the Houston Texans, I'm going to look over the total, Donnie, in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think KC will be able to do what they want to do offensively. Kevin Johnson out for Houston hurts. He's one of their better corners. I believe he is still out.
Yeah, he's been out a couple weeks. Yeah,
going to be out for a while here. Kyle Fuller's out as well. The center. They have a backup center here tonight, so that could be interesting offensively. But they do have some injuries, the big one being Kevin Johnson defensively. I think Kansas City's able to move the ball. Kansas City's an average run defense. They're not great. I'm sorry, Houston's average run defense. They're not great. Kareem Hunt should have a pretty big day running the football. Their offense is just tough to stop, and I think they're not going to have a problem going on the road here and scoring points. I also think Houston will be able to kind of do what they want to do. Deshaun Watson's been really impressive. He has that dual threat running ability. They have a good receiving core, pretty good run game. I just think this is a little bit more up tempo than we might think. I'm going to look at the pace stats. Donnie, what do you think here?
Yeah, I'm actually leaning more. I don't really have a good read on the actual total in this game. I would lean on a side in this one. I'm going to go with the home team here, Houston, taking the 2 points. The reason why I like it is obviously, in the NFL, it's usually a game of who needs it more, who's in a better spot. Kansas City, off a Monday night game, you already have the short week, lost another offensive lineman last week with Duvernay Tardif. Mitch Morse is already out for this football game. So you're going to see a little bit of a banged up offensive line, which isn't the best thing when you have J.J. Watt and Clowney coming after you. But again, they don't turn the football over, so they're not going to hurt themselves, Kansas City. If you looked at the past couple weeks, especially against Washington, if Washington makes a simple catch late in that football game, they beat Kansas City. Kansas City coming down the stretch, an awesome team. There's no getting around it, Jeff. I think Kansas City right now, if you said, Donnie, who's the best team in football on a neutral field, fully healthy? It's probably going to be the Kansas City Chiefs for me. I just think Houston's in a good spot tonight. I love what they're doing on offense with Watson. It's going to be a lot of read option. D Ford's not going to play in this football game tonight, so they made that pass rush is a little bit softer, but that read option element's going to allow him to get out of the pocket and make some throws. Both wide receivers with Fuller and Hopkins both healthy here. I think they're going to be able to hang in here. I see a close ball game, but I'll take the points with the home team here, Houston Texans tonight. Just like the dog situation.
But Donnie,
I think they need it more.
You're really not. I mean, if you're getting 3.5 here, I might take a punt on it. But I just don't. I think the value is just it's a little too short. I mean, 1.5. I mean, you need to win the football game. I mean, that's and with a rookie quarterback, I hear you.
I don't see it anywhere at 1.5. It's 2. Looks like Bovada's up to 3 now. The Greeks at 2.5. So I'll take the 2 in this spot. Yeah, I think Houston is going to win the game outright here. I think they have to win the game outright. I just see Kansas City keeping a nice slow down game, but in that environment, a team that's used to playing outdoors on grass now going to go in a dome and play versus them. And I just think Houston's playing really good football. I like what they're doing with the offensive coordinator. What Bill O'Brien's actually done with the quarterback, who I thought was awful after that Cincinnati game. I like him in the spot tonight. Again, to me, the NFL is all about ebb and flow of some situations. I think Houston needs this game a little bit more than Kansas City does. And again, Kansas City coming off the short week there and down another lineman. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we need to stop saying that Houston's run D is really good. They're not. They're 14th in the league. They're average. So, again, I don't put them up there, but they're not Denver. They're not, the Eagles. They're not Minnesota. They're an average run defense. But, yeah, we're on different sides here, Donnie, for the first time. I would, if I had to play it, I would go KC. I just don't know that this is the place. I could see it, but I'm more or less interested in the total here. So we'll go with your side play, and I'll go with the total. I'll go over 44.5. I think this is like a 27-20 type of game. I think it gets up and over the total, and I think Houston will win. But again,
they should have lost. Yeah, when you try to go week to week and some stuff, when you watch the Redskins game, if the Redskins were healthy, if Josh Norman doesn't go out, they lose that game. They had Kansas City was so overwhelming in the second half with all the injuries. I mean, every single play it looked like Washington was losing a guy left and right. But the
Donnie,
Redskins still should have won that game.
But here in the case you have a team who didn't play well last week, and you have a team who all we remember is what they did last week against a terrible Tennessee defense. Kansas City, you're basically saying Kansas City, you should have lost. Blah 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 blah.
I mean, they should have to an inferior team. I'm waiting for a good spot there. Kansas City looks good. I mean, the Eagles should have beaten them out there, but they throw an interception off somebody's head. Washington should have beat them last week. That Phillip Rivers game where Phillip Rivers turned the ball over three times. That was a 7-point game all the way through the second half, where the Chargers, who stink, couldn't move the football. So I'm trying to build a case that's saying basically like it's a tough spot to go on the road on a short week to play a really hot football team.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not ready to annoy.
Let's get some. Oh, I'm not annoying anybody, but Kansas City's got to lose at some point this season. I think they'll lose tonight.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Should be fun nonetheless. I can't bet against Kansas City. Sorry. We'll see how it goes. But again, I'm on the over. I'll go over 44.5. Slightly into the Kansas City Chiefs. Donnie likes the Houston Texans.
5,000 tickets have been tracked on this game so far.
Wow. And again, there's some interesting line move here. I mean, you have 1.5 at 5 dimes at Bookmaker. You have 2 at Pinnacle, Bet Online. And we're not going to mention 3 because if you use Bovada.
You got to take 5 dimes and Bovada completely out of there. Those two got to go. Just throw they're like the bell curve in high school? Take the highest and the lowest and throw them out.
Right. Bookmaker back up to 2. So definitely interesting here. But I'll take over 44.5. Donnie Wright's going to go with the Houston Texans at +2. Donnie, let me ask you this. What was the best thing you saw today? What was the worst thing you saw today?
I would say the best thing I saw today, probably, I mean, hey, if, I'm watching a lot of Eagles football. It's Carson Wentz and the mastery he has out there. Jeff, what do we used to always see with like Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb? You're blowing timeouts. They're always up to the line of scrimmage, 12 and 13 seconds left. They're always making adjustments. He's not throwing bad footballs out there. He made a 50-50 ball that got intercepted in the end zone before the half, which he wished he could take it back. But they open up the second half, drive right down the football field. What a great quarterback to have as a young guy, just making all those reads and putting this team on his back. And the best is yet to come from. I would probably say that was the best of it. If you're asking me the worst of it, let's go just the Giants and their number one, their season and their wide receivers at this point. Never seen anything like it. They're 0-5. I don't know where it goes from here, but the best of it will stay in the NFC was the Philadelphia Eagles. The worst of it is the Giants, and I don't understand what they're going to do the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely one. The Steelers are another one. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger, 5 turnovers today. We know that they're not particularly good on the road, but now they're having a ton of trouble at home as well. They'll probably get it figured out, but again, right now, if we're talking about right now, they didn't look good today. Also, couple 2 teams together, teams with question marks. When will Mariota be back? When will David Carr be back?
Yeah.
Or Derek Carr, I'm sorry. We always say David.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm just like, if you've noticed, Jeff, on the shows, I just say Carr now because it doesn't matter that I know it's right. When you say Derek, it's always going to come out David. And the same thing with the Chargers. I should no longer even mention like Los Angeles because I'm going to call them San Diego half the time. I just go Chargers now.
Amen. And the best thing I saw today, I'll agree with you, Eagles. We're not being a homer here. They were the most dominating team today.
That was a dominant game, man. That was a dominant from start to finish. You knew who the best team out there was, and it wasn't even close in this one.
Yeah, impressive stuff. By the way, quickly before we go here, I did want to discuss this quickly. All right, never mind. I think they ended up getting the job done here. Either way, I know Oklahoma City was struggling with the Melbourne United, Donnie, in the preseason. Does that concern you when a team struggles in the preseason to a team from Australia? Is that would that bother you?
What are you talking, basketball or soccer?
The Oklahoma City Thunder.
Oh yeah, Thunder. No,
does that bother you?
Yeah. No, it's a bad indicator. I might have to change their win total up, Jeff.
Well, yeah, you already said that you don't think they have any chance to do anything. Which
they ain't winning nothing. You take on Nello, you're just taking another L out there. The only thing that's going to cause friction is, which I'm actually surprised. I wonder if they actually, getting off on a tangent on the NBA. Do you think that they actually asked Westbrook if he wanted extra help? Because last year Westbrook was in heaven on that team. He doesn't care about winning. He just wants it all to be about him on the basketball court.
Yeah.
Yes. Like I don't know. That's gotta weigh on him a little bit.
So get this. So they win by 1 point against Melbourne United. Paul George, Carmelo, and Westbrook all played 39, 31, and 28 minutes. How does that happen? I mean, you're supposed to demoralize and dominate these opponents. I mean, Houston Rockets are winning by 50 against the Shanghai Sharks.
Yeah, where'd they play? Did they play it in Oklahoma City, Jeff, or did they just take a trip down to Australia for the day?
I believe this game was in Oklahoma City, actually. If I'm correct.
But did Melo wear a hoodie on the basketball court, though, Jeff?
No.
You like that look?
Yes, this wasn't Oklahoma City. I don't mind it. I mean, when I work out now, over the last week, I wear a sweatshirt. Trying to lose water weight on it.
There you go.
But yes, I know Scotland was bounced today. Not good. That sucks. Won't get to see them in the World Cup. But Donnie, football's here coming up 8:30. We'll be live. We'll be live in about 8 minutes. Gabe Morency and I will be on just before the anthem starts. Join us on the Betcast, Donnie. It's been fun over there. What do you? Any props you're looking at? Who's going to be a player of the game tonight, Donnie?
Player of the game tonight, Deshaun Watson is going to pick up 60 on the ground, run for 1 touchdown, Jeff, and throw for 2 more.
Okay. I'll go Travis Kelce tonight. I think
how about that? Is there a prop bet, Jeff, for Kelce over under personal foul because he celebrated too much? Gotta be. It's every game, right?
In a big game like this, sure. Yeah, I can see that. I can see a lot of underneath stuff from check down Charlie Alex Smith. Kelce might be in for a big game here. We'll see. Hunt over 83.5. Thoughts? I'm not a big Emmett or a big prop guy. We'll get Gabe on before the game starts here and have him look over it. As I said, I think the Houston Texans are an average run defense. We'll see how it goes. 1 big run. I mean, he's the best. He's 502 yards already. I don't think that's ever a bad thing here. I would agree with you there. Fuck Kelce, says Twanby.
I don't like Kelce's a great player. He'd be unbelievable if he was on your team, but I could see how he's a hate the player guy because everything he does is just designed to be on camera. He's the offensive version, Jeff, of J.J. Watt to me.
Yeah,
he needs to be on camera. He needs to dance. He needs his own show. He needs a dating show. He needs to get personal fouls to say, "Look at me." I mean,
I gotta tell you, I would probably watch him if he had a dating show. I think that would be pretty entertaining.
He did have a dating show.
Did he really?
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
when was that on?
I don't know what channel it was on, but he had his own. I don't know what the show was called, but he did have his own Kelce whatever dating thing. Yeah.
Wow. He loves I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he loves it.
I did not even know that. And you got to love the guys that talk like this. Yeah, the white guys talk like that. Did you ever see when him and his brother? Yeah, hey girl, what's up? What's up with you? Did you ever see when him and Jason met like midfield after the game? Jason Kelce looked like He looked like the older brother that's just like, dude, shut the fuck up. Will you?
Yep,
Like,
and we lost. Yes, I just lost to you, and you're trying to like give me kisses and trade jerseys in, man.
Yeah. And he's just like, it looks like he's so disgusted with the kid. It's like, he's like one of those older brothers. It's just like
yo, baby, like yo, big bro, bro.
What's up, baby bro? Like, you know what it feels like to me? It feels like Johnny Chase and Vinny Chase, except the other way around.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Two pros, man. What a family that's coming out of, man. Impressive.
Donnie, did you hear my Ed Orgeron impression? Did you want
Ed Orgeron? No, but it's pretty easy. Go ahead and do one. Give me it.
Well, you do one. Let's hear yours first.
No, I'm saying it's pretty. Probably if you know how to do it, like you do. I mean, all you got to do is grumble with some rocks in your mouth.
So ask me a question about the game yesterday.
Ed, coming down the fourth quarter is a tough game here in the swamp. You know, talk to how your kids came back off that loss to Troy and how you were able to battle here in the swamp.
Yeah, we had a game plan for the team. It was great. Danny Etling was great. We brought him down. Put a little pep in his gumbo before the game. Go Tigers. You have to have a kind of a dialogue.
Yeah, it is. No, it's exactly like when you that's exactly what it sounds like. We're gonna have a good football game this weekend, and if we go back to LSU, I'm gonna sit down in his mama's living room, and I'm gonna tell him that spicy gumbo down here, come on down, or you're gonna be a Tiger.
Go Tigers. He always says that.
I don't even know how to coach. They pay me $4 million a year. I don't even really know how to coach. I'm just here. I'm sitting here down at LSU. I'm one of you guys. I'm a Cajun.
I live across the street from the game.
Look at the stadium. I don't even go home after the game. I stay here. And we have gumbo. We have fried frog legs, and I'm gonna go out and recruit this weekend. Sit in his mama's living room and tell him I'm gonna take care of your baby boy.
Go Tigers.
Always go Tigers. Yeah.
He always says that thing. Go Tigers.
Yep.
Go Tigers. All right, guys. Everyone have a great night. We'll be back here in about 5 minutes or so with the BetCast. Join Gabe and I. We'll give out some free plays. You hear Gabe yell. You hear me yell. We'll have some fun conversations, as always. Everyone enjoy your night. We'll be back tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern, with the right side of campus where we live everything in college football. Donnie, a big Miami win. A big Oklahoma loss.
Mark Walton looks like he's going to be out for the year for Miami. I wanted to see if there's maybe a lawsuit out that Mark Walton can sue Mark Richt for this year. So you think it's possible?
Drove him into the ground. And there goes the possibility of anyone from Miami doing anything this year.
Yeah, Travis Homer will be able to carry it down. Nice win for the Canes, but yeah, you can't lose your best player on offense. And hold on. I think I just said you can't lose your best player on offense, but somebody would tell me that it doesn't even matter that Mark Walton got hurt.
No, there are many people out there that think that if you lose your best player, everything's fine and you'll just grind away like always. By the way, how's that Cardinals win total looking? What do they got? 2 wins now?
Yeah. 2 wins. And they shouldn't even have had the 2 wins. They should be hanging down with the Giants, but that's neither here nor there. So, oh well.
Yeah. Everyone have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 12:30. Catch us up next, Gabe and I. See you later. Bye-bye.